I'm Sabrina, and this is The Creative Edge. Whether it's a philosophy, a mindset shift, or a technical skill, everyone experiences something that makes them move with a new energy. I'm here to uncover what takes people from good to great. Let's dive in.
My name is Alison, and I am a holistic health and breathwork coach.
All right, Alison, what did you bring us to drink today?
I brought us the Poppy Shirley Temples.
I've never had this version before.
I know, they're new.
Why Shirley Temple?
Well, honestly, I hadn't had a Shirley Temple in a really long time. And then I saw that these were like just launched very recently. And I was like, oh my God, I have to have one. And it was very nostalgic. And I feel like I'm trying to embrace my inner child, just like loving life, enjoying life, not taking things so seriously.
I love that you brought this drink for us. I think the next best thing we could do is do a cheers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's open it. Cheers, Alison.
Cheers.
No, that's so good.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to the store and I'm buying 12 cases of this. What's taken you from good to great?
I would say not waiting for opportunities, but creating them for myself.
What do you mean by that?
Just put in the reps, practice, be the person who's like willing to work the hardest for it. So I realized that a lot of times like opportunities don't necessarily just get handed to you. And a lot of times in order to get those reps in order to like practice, you have to create that opportunity for yourself. You have to be the one to like take initiative before anybody else like gives you that opportunity.
And what was the first thing that you created for yourself?
When I was graduating college, and I knew I wanted to get into finance, and it was during COVID, so there was like no job opportunities. I was just getting like kind of stuck, I guess, in like that victim mentality. And at one point I kind of just like stopped putting so much energy and effort into like applying to jobs. And I just started to think about like, what do I really want for myself? And at the time, I really wanted to get into sustainable investing, like ESG investing. And so I was like, okay, how do I start doing what I would want to do in my dream job right now? And so I started a blog where I was writing about like the sustainable investing trends at the time. I ended up then getting an interview with like my dream job. And I truly believe that like the passion I had for that and then the background I had for that was very different from anything that anyone else could have brought to that conversation is why I actually got that job.
I think that's such a beautiful and powerful lesson for people of showing up as a person that you want to be, not the person that you are right now. Let's talk about breath work. So you're a breath work instructor. I've taken her classes, highly recommend. I never get a better night's sleep than after your restore classes. Why did you want to get into breath work? And how did you create that opportunity for yourself?
Once I became clear on the fact I didn't want to be in finance, I really knew I wanted to be in the wellness space. And what that looked like for me when I first left corporate was getting into coaching, wellness coaching, personal development coaching, mindset coaching, all of that kind of stuff. What was it now? Probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I kind of just like had this realization that coaching is amazing and it's so important. And I've seen so many amazing like transformations in clients through coaching, but at the end of the day, it's like one-to-one. And if I want to impact more than just one person every hour, like I had to scale that. And to me, that looked like meditation, breath work, because meditation and breath work is like the key to unlocking and understanding yourself and understanding your own journey and all of that. So that was how I really got into breath work. So I started working on events and I started hosting wellness events all last year, all across San Diego. That's fine. And that was really what gave me the opportunity to kind of like circling back on that idea of like creating the opportunity for yourself. Like I created these events, I hosted these events so that when I finally did get trained up for breathwork at Breathe Degrees, I was like ready to go full force with that.
So amazing that you created these events and you created these opportunities for yourself. Really, really inspirational for people who are wanting to get into something, don't have the experience yet, can see that vision so clearly in their mind.
When I realized I wanted to bring what I was doing one-on-one to people more broadly, I kind of just thought, okay, like how do I kind of just create an experience that would allow somebody, without needing to be one-on-one with me, still create that self-awareness and create that transformation within them. So it all came from like all the practice that I had coaching individuals. Getting to the breathwork point now, it's like that actually started like 3 years ago.
I think we also get in our head where we have that big goal in our mind, like leading an entire class, that can seem so daunting. I love what you're saying about even starting smaller, starting off with one client, learning along the way. Such an amazing way to build your confidence, to build your experience in it. It's gonna take time to be at that final destination, but if you keep working at it, you'll get there. And people can see your passion. They can see your love from it. And I think that goes much farther than any technical skill. You can learn any skill with practice, but if you don't have the passion, the drive, the momentum to push yourself forward into that, you're never going to get there.
To be honest, I remember too, right before I left corporate, the way that I kind of got the motivation to do it, I like reached out to all my friends and family. I was like, can I give you a free 30-minute coaching session? Because I wanted to make sure I like loved it before I left corporate. So I had like 20 or 30 sessions with people for free to make sure it was really what I wanted to do. And I think if I hadn't like taken that initiative, then would I have actually known that I loved it enough to like risk everything that I left behind in corporate to actually do it?
It sounds like it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% worth it, but it's hard.
It's really, really hard. And that fear stops so many of us from achieving our potential. But if you get to live in a life that's authentic to you, that you're creating something, it's such a more beautiful life to live. We've touched on so many different amazing things, but just want to give you the opportunity in case there's any final things on your mind.
I feel like I've always really had the mentality of like under promise, over deliver, not just always talking about what you're going to do, but just like do what you're going to do. And again, it goes back to like getting in the reps and just like become the person who is going to over deliver. Do it for you and do it because you know you're capable of it, and do it because you know it's possible, and like take the action, like just do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That really is it. Start, try, go out there, do, learn. That's the only way to grow into something that you're proud of and who you want to be. I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you now, just to understand a little bit more about your day-to-day and who you are. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I am definitely an early bird. My father is the world's biggest early bird.
What time early are we talking?
He's a 4 a.m. guy. I'm not a 4 a.m. girl. I'm more of like a 5:45, but like I don't use an alarm. Like my body, like I'm up and at 'em. Yeah.
Were you always like that?
Basically, yeah. It's genes. It's genetic. I was blessed, honestly. I love just getting up and like going, and feeling like I have so much time ahead of me.
What do you typically eat for breakfast?
Right now, I've been big on like some hard-boiled eggs and a smoothie, so I get a little bit of the savory, a little bit of the sweet. I'm a big breakfast girl. I wake up starving, so I wake up at 5:45 starving and immediately eat.
What's your favorite hobby?
One of my biggest hobbies is honestly cooking. Food is really big for me. Food brings me like a lot of pleasure and joy. And along the way, like I've struggled with IBS, a lot of gut issues, a lot of that stuff. And so now just being in such a good place with food, like I love to just like spend time in my kitchen and make really good, healthy food and eat it and just like nourish my body and give, like, I love food. So
I remember when I was in New York, I never cooked because I was always running around. But out here, I've been cooking my meals and knowing where your food's coming from and approaching it from that mindset of, I'm eating this to nourish myself. I'm eating this to take care of myself because I love myself and I want to feel my best, is such a huge unlock for people. What do you do for self-care?
For self-care, I like to go to the beach. I like to sit in the sun. I love the sun. I love to get a little tan on. And honestly, that's self-care because then I look in the mirror and I feel glowing, beautiful. Got some vitamin D, get in the ocean, all of that. Like that honestly is just the best form of self-care.
And we live in such an amazing place to be able to do that here in San Diego.
Yeah.
My final question is, who do you go to for advice?
I would say my mom and my sister. At the end of the day, when you go to get advice from someone, like the most important thing is that you are still staying connected to yourself and your truth and your own intuition. And so it's really about like, who's that person that feels safe enough to you that if they present you advice, you can have a conversation about it until you get to the answer that you really need from within, as opposed to like them giving it to you. My sister and my mom are like my best friends. They create that safe space for me.
It's important who you take advice from. Your mom and sister sound like great sounding boards. So I'm so happy to hear. Cheers, Alison.
Cheers.
Thank you so
so
much.
fun.
Thanks for listening. New episodes drop each week, so subscribe so you don't miss what's next. If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate a 5-star review so that we can reach more people. See you next time to discover the next creative edge.